भ्यो नमः। वागीशाद्याः सुमनसः सर्वार्थानामुपक्रमे यन्नत्वा कृतकृत्यास्यस्तन्नमामि गजाननं। शारदा शारदाम्भोजवदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं सन्निधिं क्रियात्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। शास्त्राब्धिपारदृश्वानं सङ्गहीनं तपोनिधिं भजे श्रीभारतीतीर्थगुरुं भद्रौघदायकं। विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विधुशेखरभारतीम्। नमः कोदण्डहस्ताय सन्धीकृतशराय च खण्डिताखिलदैत्याय रामायापन्निवारिणे उद्भवस्थितिसंहारकारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभाम्। आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनम्। With namaskaras to the Padapadmas of Sri Ramachandra and to the Padapadmas of the Ubhay Jagadgurus. It is a very joyous occasion for all Sanatana Dharmis that after 5 centuries of waiting, Sri Ramachandra is once again going to be ruling us from Ayodhya. So it is the duty of all Astikas to pray on this occasion that Sri Rama's grace lead us to Rama Rajya. It is one thing to worship Rama, it is one thing to emulate Sri Rama's ideal. So as Sanatana Dharmis, it is important that we look at both aspects of Rama. Our respect and worship for him is just as important as our efforts to emulate his ideal, which is why for today, for the next half an hour or so, we will be discussing a topic that has been a subject of both political and religious interest in the last few years, especially since the media has become more prolific and TV channels and bhakti channels have become more widespread. It is exactly tied into this, wherein Rama being worshipped and Rama being emulated. How do we reconcile this? And the question that is usually asked is Rama a man or a god? So as usual, English does not disappoint in giving us a horrible view of what this actual question means. The very fact that we are using English terminology to discuss a question of Hindu philosophy or of the Hindu religion shows that you are shooting yourself in the foot before you attempt to run. So what we really mean by the question, is Rama god or man, is Rama a devata or a manushya or a manava? That is what we mean in Indian words. So now, what is the point of this debate? So what is the point of discussing this? So as you all know, those people that say that Rama is a man say that because he is a man, there is no need to worship him because only devatas are worthy of worship. He was a man that was later deified. So therefore this mandira, this, that, puja, whatnot is not required at all. And we should just stick to living our lives virtuously. Then there are some people who said Rama is a man, he is Bhagavan, everyone does Sharanagati to him. So forget about the human part. Rama is just a complete devata. So just worship him and you will get his grace. So as you can see, both of these parts, both of these stories have, both of these opinions have extremities attached to them. So he is completely a man and not a devata at all, so no worship is necessary. This is one extreme. He is completely a devata, he was never a man, so how can we possibly emulate him? That is one extreme. And if we're being honest, neither of these is what the country needs right now, and neither one of these narratives is true either. So that is why we will take the next few minutes to kind of discuss this question. So first of all, the question, as I said, in our terminology is Rama a devata or a manava? Is he a deva, which is what we call God, right? Indra, Varuna, Agni. Is he a deva or a manushya? So that is the question. There is one very simple answer to give on the onset, is that devatva, right, godhood, and manushyatva, manhood, are what we call jatis. They're just the species or the class of being that you're born into. Right? So to say that Rama being human precludes him from being divinity is kind of silly, right? So these are two completely separate things. So obviously no one is saying that Rama is like Indra, Varuna or Agni, right? So then the question becomes, then what do we mean when we say Rama is God? We mean Rama is Paramatma, right? So the question now is Rama Paramatma or a human? What is the difference between Paramatma and a Devata? So Paramatma is the name that we give to Saguna Brahman, right? What we call Ishvara usually. So that Chaitanya that is responsible for the Srishti Sthiti Laya of the world, of the cosmos, of the Jagat, that Chaitanya that is responsible for creating, sustaining and dissolving this entire universe. That Chaitanya, right, that pure consciousness that is Sarvajna, right, that is all knowing. So basically this Chaitanya, when taken upon the Upadhi of Maya, in the vessel of Maya, so that Chaitanya is called Ishvara. And this Ishvara manifests himself in many ways, as Devi, as Shiva, as Ganesha, as Surya, as Kartikeya, as Vishnu. Right? So this is what we mean when we say Paramatma. What do we mean by a Devata? A Devata is a particular class of being that has a particular sphere of control. For example, Agni, the Devata Agni, is the manifestation of Paramatma, or you can even say it is a Devata. It is a type of Deva that is in charge of the power of burning, of fire. Right? Varuna is a Devata, basically the Chaitanya whose sphere of dominion or whose dominion is over the ocean. In the same way, Vayu is the Devata whose sphere of control is the air. So as we know, as we said, so then what is the difference? I just said that these people are all, these beings are all Chaitanya, and we said that Ishvara is also Chaitanya. So what is the difference? Because in Advaita there is only one Chaitanya, right? So what is the difference? The difference is that when you look at Chaitanya as Agni, Vayu and Indra, they are limited by their bodies, by the vessels, right? So the body and mind that delineate a particular form of Chaitanya, they are limited. Just as the Chaitanya of a Jiva is the same Chaitanya that is present in Ishvara, but it is not as powerful as Ishvara because of the limitations of the body, right? So because the mind is smaller, the body is less powerful. Obviously, one man will not have the same capability as Ganesha. So it is that simple, right? So in the same way, a Devata is but a delimiting factor of that singular Chaitanya that has dominion over a particular sphere, or over a particular area. So Agni is that Devata who has control over fire. Vayu is the Devata that has control over air, etc. So this is not what we're saying Rama is, because Rama was not born as a Devata, right? So Indra was born as a Devata, Agni was born as a Devata. These people are born to Aditi. So Rama was not born a Devata. So no one is saying that Rama is a Devata or a Deva, right? Amara, whatever you want to call them. So Rama is definitely a human. Why? He was born to a human mother and father. He was in the womb not for 9 months but for 12 months on top of that. So Rama was very much a human. He was born, he had a physical body like us, he experienced happiness and pleasure, he laughed and he cried. So Rama was very much born a human. No one is saying that Rama is a Devata. So now the next question becomes, so then because Rama was a Manushya, he cannot be Paramatma. This statement too is wrong. Because being Paramatma's expression as an avatara has nothing to do with the jati of the body he is born into, or nothing to do with the type of being that he manifests himself as. Well, first of all, we just use the word avatara. What is an avatara? So we only use an avatara for Parameshvara, Ishvara, right? The Nirguna Chaitanya. So what does it mean? What does the word avatara mean? Avatarati means to step down, to come down. So where is he coming from? We don't say there is our Father in the heavens above. We don't say all that. That is not what we say. Bhagavan is omnipresent and omniscient. So he is everywhere, right? The Chaitanya is Sarvavyapi. So what does it mean when we say he is coming down? To come down means to become more gross, more material, right? So Chaitanya exists on the subtlest of levels, right? That is Sukshmat Sukshmataram Jneyam is said in Gita. It is more fine than the finest, right? So Chaitanya is very fine. So to become manifest in a tangible way is Chaitanya stepping down. So from the most subtle level, it is coming down to a gross level. So that Nirguna Chaitanya that you can otherwise not see or interact with, right? Chaitanya is just consciousness. Who has seen consciousness? We don't say, I looked in the mirror today and I saw my consciousness had grown. No one says that, right? Because consciousness is not perceivable by the Indriyas. The senses do not perceive consciousness. It is Swatah Pramana. It is self-evident. So that being said, this subtle Chaitanya has now come down in the sense that it has now become grossified. Right? It has now become sthula, and then is available for interaction with the world. So that is why. So for example, that Nirguna Chaitanya manifested as Matsya, as a massive fish. So the fish you can see, okay, it is this big, it is this wide, it is this color, right? It has these qualities. So that formless, quality-less consciousness is coming down a step to us, to become available to us, taking upon a name and a form. So that is what we mean when we say avatara. So now when we say that Rama is an avatar of Vishnu, this in no way prevents him from being a man. Just as Vishnu being Matsya Avatara does not mean that Vishnu was not a fish then. Just as we say Vishnu being Varaha Avatara does not mean that Vishnu was not a boar then. Just as say Vishnu being Kurma Avatara does not mean Vishnu was not a tortoise then or a turtle then. In the same way, Vishnu coming as Rama does not mean that Vishnu was not a man. Because as we said, this Manushyatva, manhood, is a dharma of the body. This manhood is an attribute that belongs to the body. And Paramatma is the Chaitanya that has chosen to take upon the body. So then we get one more question. So then what is the difference between Paramatma taking upon a body and us taking upon a body? So we are saying that both are in fact the same Chaitanya. Right? The Chaitanya of the Jiva and Ishvara are the same. So what does it mean when you say, you're saying Ishvara takes upon a body and you call it an avatara? My Chaitanya is in a body and you're not calling me an avatara. What is this? So there, the difference is, Ishvara takes upon an avatara out of Svecha. Svecha means he is independent. Why? So our body is not freely chosen. Our body is bought through karma. So based on the punyas and papas that you have accrued over several lifetimes, you are given a body that is conducive to you experiencing whatever karma phalas you have to experience in this life. So that is why we have a body. Ishvara, being a Sarvajna and being Nirlipta, right, he has no attachment to anything. He does not have any karma that he has accrued. Therefore, there is no reason for him to be born. We have to be born. The universe has a law of karma, wherein it says that whatever you do, you must reap. Whatever you do, you must experience. Nabhuktam kshiyate karma kalpakoti shatairapi. That is what the Smriti says. Avashyam anubhoktavyam kritam karma shubhashubham. Nabhuktam kshiyate karma kalpakoti shatairapi. Avashyam anubhoktavyam. You must experience the karma that you do. Whether it is shubha or ashubha. You can, if you do good, you will experience good. If you do evil, you will experience sorrow. It is that simple. So you must experience it. And nabhuktam kshiyate karma kalpakoti shatairapi. Without experiencing said karma, you will never be free of it. You will never be rid of it. So, therefore, we are forced to be born because we have a karmic debt to settle with the universe. Ishvara does not have any accrued karma, and therefore he is not forced into a birth. He instead takes upon a body. He chooses a body, which is why in Ramayana you find the line Pitaram Rochayamasa. Rama chose Dasharatha to be his father. Rochayamasa means he desired. He said, I like this man. I would like this man to be my father. So Rama has chosen Ishvara, Vishnu. Right? So Vishnu is Ishvara. That Ishvara has chosen Dasharatha to be a father. Which means that Rama was not forced into the human body. And therefore, his Rama's birth is not like ours. Which is why, as I said it in passing earlier, Rama stayed in the womb for 12 months. Right? So we obviously know that a human period of gestation for humans is 9 months. Right? For different animals, it is different. For elephants, it is 22 months. For horses, it is less than that, but more than humans. So like that, different animals have different gestation periods. For the human, it is 9 months, obviously. Right? So from the second that the sperm and the egg form, they merge to form a zygote. From that point till delivery, right, it is 9 months. That is what we mean by the gestation period. So it is 9 months for any human, but Rama was there for 12 months. Why? That is another point where we see that Rama was not forced into a human birth, but he chose to take a human birth, right? Or Vishnu chose to take a human birth. So here, what we need to understand is Ishvara has a responsibility to protect certain Vedic truths. So what does Veda say? Panchamyama hutavapah purushavachaso bhavanti. So there is one Vidya in Upanishad called Panchagni Vidya. We don't need to go into that. But the point is that the Jiva resides for some time in the father before entering the mother. That is what the Tatparya of what I'm trying to say is. The point that I'm saying is the Jiva resides in the seed of the father before entering the mother. So he resides for 3 months in the father, the Jiva, before entering the mother and then staying there for 9 months. Now, how did the Ishvara Tejas, so how did the Amsha of Ishvara enter Kausalya's womb? So obviously, as we know, the story is that the Putra Kameshti Yaga was done by Maharshi Rishishringa, and from that a Yajna Purusha came with Payasa, and that was distributed to the queens and they took of it. So this birth is not a birth that is caused by the mix of what we call Shukla and Shonita, of the male and female seeds. But instead, this is a Alaukika Janma, this is a Yajna Janma, right? So this is a Janma that is born of tapas. So it is because of the fruit of that Yajna that Kausalya bore fruit. So now basically, the Jiva has entered Kausalya through the Payasa, or the Parameshwara Amsha has entered Kausalya through the Payasa, not through Dasharatha. So that 3-month period wherein the being to be born must reside with the father was not taken. So in order to keep that Vedic truth that it is this some aggregate amount of time that a being must be in the womb before it is born, Rama stayed in Kausalya's womb for those 12 months before he was born. So now we get the question. So then what is the difference? What do we mean when we say that Rama was a human then? Because was he not a human? So what about this is human? The answer is very simple that, see, the Jiva entered Kausalya's body through this. But the body that was formed was human. See, there are some forms of Ishvara that are completely Maya, as in Ishvara makes them of his own. For example, Narasimha. Right? Narasimha was not born. Where will you have a being that is born, that is half lion and half man? So that form was not born. That is not made of the Pancha. It is not made of the usual Panchabhutas. That is what it is made of Sattva Pradhana Maya is what we call. We don't have to get into that. But my point being that Narasimha was a manifestation, right? That is the word that should be used in English. Narasimha was not an incarnation, but it was a manifestation. What is the difference between incarnation and a manifestation, at least in English? Incarnation means you are born as something, right? So you take birth. Manifestation means there is no birth. You just appear as something, right? So as Narasimha, Bhagavan just appeared in the pillar. Whereas as Rama or Krishna also he appeared in fact. But as Rama and as Balarama, he took birth. He did not just appear out of nowhere, but he took birth. Whereas in Narasimha, he quite literally appeared in the pillar, right? He took form in the pillar. So that is what we mean when we say Rama is human. So what does that mean? That means that if you cut Rama with a knife, he will bleed, right? His body is made up of the same dhatus, right? That Shukla, Shonita, Asthi, Mamsa, Majja, Snayu, those same, right? The bone, meat, marrow, blood, all of those things that make up a normal human body are what make up Rama's body. So he was a man. And that also means that Rama's mind also functioned in the same way as a man. That is also there. However, the difference is that Rama's subconscious current will be that of Ishvara. So we will also later we will talk about how Rama's Ishvaratva manifests, how Rama demonstrates the fact that he is Paramatma. But for now, we will look at how he is human, because as we see, Rama's Antahkarana, as we say, his mind is also human because he expresses certain human emotions. He laughs, he is very happy in some places. He does cry, right? We don't say Rama is stone-faced everywhere. We say that Rama took the Pattabhisheka and Vanavasa evenly. It does not mean that Rama was beyond emotion, because we see him crying when Sita is taken away. He gets angry at the ocean. He gets angry at Ravana, right? So you see many places where Rama does in fact demonstrate emotion, human emotion, right? This is not a characteristic of Paramatma, because Paramatma is beyond all of this. Paramatma does not have emotion, but Rama demonstrates emotion purely because he is in a human form. He is acting as a human. And the most obvious compelling point that we have to say that Rama is human is that very, very simple, that Ravana cannot be killed by anyone that is not a Nara or a Vanara. Right? So when Ravana asked for his boon of invincibility from all manners of being, he asked for invincibility from Devatas, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Sadhya, Garuda, Yaksha, Rakshasa, all of these, besides Nara and Vanara, besides men and monkeys. Right? So the fact that Rama was able to kill Ravana is in itself the proof that Rama was obviously a human. Right? And as I said earlier, Rama being born as a human does not mean that he is not Paramatma. Just as, Hanuman is a Vanara and also Rudra. Right? Rudra incarnated as Hanuman. And Hanuman was a Vanara. Just as Hanuman being Shiva and a Vanara are not mutually exclusive, in the same way Rama being Vishnu and a human are not mutually exclusive. This is one thing that we need to understand. So this shows that Rama is human. Now how do we is Manava? Now how do we show that Rama is also Paramatma? Because that is also very much a part of it. So what is the evidence? So we are examining both sides of the story, right? So this is all the evidence to show that Rama is human. What are all the evidence to show that Rama is Paramatma? There are many places in Ramayana where Rama does things that humans cannot. Number one, for example, Rama breaking the Shivadhanus. Right? That is in itself one example. Rama almost drying up the ocean. Right? That is also another example. So in both of these, if we see Rama breaking the Shivadhanus, why did this have to happen? So as we all know, Sita Mata was found by Janaka. Notice Sita was not born from a human. There are some stories saying that she is Ravana's daughter, this, that nonsense. That is not there in Valmiki Ramayana. Sita is Lakshmi who manifested in the Bhumi. That is all. She was found by Janaka. That is all the stories. There is no such thing as she was in a box, she was buried, this happened, that happened. These are all later folk tales and whatnot added on. But this is not what we use to discuss the Itihasa part of it. So when we say, anyone can do any number of kalpanas to tell Ramayana in the way that their mind pleases, right? So for example, Ahalya being a stone, Lakshman Rekha, writing Rama on the stones that were used to make the Rama Setu. These are all later inventions of poets simply to increase devotion to Rama. We do not find fault with them so long as these new creations do not diminish the character of Rama, Sita or Hanuman. That being said, when we discuss why did this happen in Ramayana or what happened in Ramayana, it is important that we only take Valmiki Ramayana to discuss that. If you are talking about Rama Vaibhava or the story of Rama or Rama Kirtana, by all means take whatever stories that later poets have also added. But if you are discussing why did this happen in Ramayana, what is the nature of Rama, what is the nature of Sita, what is the nature of Hanuman, what Dharma does this instance show, you must rely on Valmiki Ramayana and Valmiki Ramayana alone. So that being said, so Sita was found by Janaka in a field, right? So in a place that was being prepared for a yajna. So it was clear to Janaka that Sita was a Divyakanta, right? She is not of human origin, but she is divine. So what does this mean? It means that whoever needs to marry her also needs to be equally divine. You will not give such a divine woman away to some normal naam ke vaste human being, right? So to some normal man that is born in some corner of the world. So you need someone that shows equal divinity, which is why when that Shivadhanus, right, the bow that was used by Paramashiva himself to fight in wars, when that bow was broken by a 16-year-old, not even 16 yet, he was 14 at the time. So when that bow was broken by a 14-year-old boy, then it is evident that this is not a normal 14-year-old boy, but this boy is endued with a force beyond that of a normal human being. Number one. Number two, you also have the episode in Yuddhakanda wherein Rama wants to cross the ocean and he does Upavasa for a couple of days, propitiates Samudra Deva. Samudra does not respond. At which point, Rama draws an arrow and says, I will dry up the entire ocean. You better give me way or I will dry you up and walk across. So this too is obviously not something that a human can do, which is why when Valmiki Maharshi asks about Rama in the beginning of Ramayana, he says, Kasya Bibhyati Devascha Jataroshasya Sanyuge. Whom do the gods fear when enraged in battle? That is what Valmiki asks. So what kind of a warrior, when he becomes enraged in battle, when he becomes maddened in battle, whom do the Devatas fear? And obviously the answer is Rama. So where do we see the Devatas fearing Rama? Right here. Samudra Deva feared Rama. He feared the arrow of Rama. Already 2 arrows had gone in and several Dushta Jivas inside the ocean had died. And Rama had one more arrow knocked. And he said, listen, I I have put an arrow on the bow, and we say the word Rama Bana to this day, right? Rama's arrow is infallible, it cannot go in vain. So the second I have knocked an arrow on the bowstring, this has to go somewhere. So then Samudra said, there is a particular band of dacoits and thieves on this particular shore of mine. Please direct your arrow there and destroy them. And that is what Rama does. That is all there in Valmiki Ramayana. But my point being that this interaction between Rama and Samudra is not the interaction between Samudra Deva and a human. This is most certainly the interaction between Samudra Deva and a power beyond the Devatas, which we call Paramatma. Right? So this and all, such examples in Ramayana are enough. Then these are events in Ramayana that are enough. There are some places in Ramayana where the decision that Rama takes show that this is not a human decision. So, and I say this because there are some things where for Rama it is intuitive, in the sense that the Paramatma current underneath is driving it. The human mind of Rama is not driving this decision, but the Paramatma's Amsha inside, right? That Tejas of Vishnu inside drives certain decisions. For example, as a king, and as we know Rama is a just king, the same crime must be met with the same punishment, right? So similar crimes will get similar punishments. So if we take this maxim that Rama must have followed as a just ruler, then you see that Maricha and Subahu, these are two Rakshasas that we see in Balakanda, they both were plaguing Rakshasas in the Siddhashrama. They were obstructing yagas being done, and they were generally antisocial elements causing destruction and havoc. So these two, both of them are brothers. They have done this together. Whatever they have done, tormenting rishis, pouring blood and whatnot into yagas and killing good people and doing all of that, they have done together. However, Rama gives them both separate punishments. So Maricha, Subahu is killed on the spot. Maricha is instead flung into the ocean by the Vayavyastra and is allowed to live another day. What is the meaning of this? Both of them have committed the same crime. So what is the meaning of giving them different punishments? So the crimes are not only committed by the body, and the crime also will change based on the person. So here, as Ishvara, Rama has decided that Maricha has hope of reforming, Subahu does not. This is one reason why Subahu is killed immediately and Maricha is allowed to live. Second thing being, Rama as Ishvara, let us not use Rama, let us say for now, Ishvara knows his avatara karya. So Ishvara knows what his avatara wants to do, what this incarnation is supposed to do. This incarnation is meant to kill Ravana. How does he kill Ravana? If he has to fight Ravana. Why will he fight Ravana if his wife gets kidnapped by Ravana? Why will his wife get kidnapped by Ravana? How can his wife be kidnapped by Ravana? Because as long as Rama is there, no one can even lay a finger on Sita. No one can look at Sita, let alone kidnapping her. So what has to happen? Rama has to be drawn away. How will Rama be drawn away? With obviously the deer, the golden deer, who is Maricha. So because Maricha factors into his plan there, into the template of this avatara there, it was imperative that Rama let Maricha live. So Ishvara, knowing the past, present and future as Ishvara does, allowed Maricha to live because his role in his Leela, right, in his plan for the avatara was different. And then we can also say, well, if you wanted to, you can do the same thing with Subahu. Well, that is why we said the nature of the being is also taken into account, right? So Maricha, upon being struck by Rama's arrow, becomes a hermit. He becomes a rishi, he becomes a sage, he becomes a tapasvi, and he sits in the Dandakaranya doing tapas. He does not harm or plague anyone. And it is only when Ravana comes and says, do you want me to kill you or will you help me, that he says, I would rather die at the hands of Rama than at the hands of a sinful person like you. At which point then he becomes a deer and then gets killed by Rama. So we see clearly that Maricha had that potential of change. All it took was a push. So as Ishvara, Rama knew to only give a push and not kill yet. So in such places we can see that this nature of Ishvara is put through. So now we have discussed how Rama is human and how Rama is Ishvara. Now we need to do the reconciliation. As we said, is Rama Ishvara or Manushya? We said that these two are not mutually exclusive. But now we ask the question, so what? So what do we mean by this? We mean that Rama must be emulated in all ways possible, and Rama must be worshipped. That is the tatparya of this. So because Rama lived his life as a human, he followed human morals. He was not like Krishna, where human limitations did not apply to him. Right? Some things that Krishna did just are not acceptable by some things. Some things are not understandable by human standards. We should say it like that. So some things that Krishna does, the human mind cannot understand in human terms. Some of those are just esoteric. But Rama lived his entire life as per the human code of conduct. So we can be assured that Rama has done nothing that a human should not do. That much is evident. The second thing being that the decisions that Rama has taken were also influenced mostly by human dharma. For example, the decision to to uphold the father's promise, the decision to protect the rishis when they asked for a refuge, the decision to be truthful, the decision to be a faithful friend, the decision to be a very kind and just king, the decision to be a responsible husband, the decision also to try as hard as possible to prevent a war. Rama gave Ravana so many chances to give up Sita and prevent destruction on both sides. So all of these are dharmas that Rama has shown. Therefore, we should have no problem at all saying that Rama is human. So as we have shown, Rama is Ishvara. Rama being Ishvara immediately means that he is worthy of worship. Right? So any form of Ishvara is worthy of worship. And on top of that, a form like Rama is not there. And even more so than Rama, this Rama Nama is something that we have to talk about. The name of Rama is a mantra like nothing else. As we see, it has the Bijaksharas of Surya, Agni and Chandra. In the same way, we say that it has the Pranaksharas of both Vishnu's Ashtakshari mantra and Shiva's Panchakshari mantra. The Ra from Narayanaya and the Ma from Namah Shivaya. So the Maha is a Maha. The Ra from Narayana is the first Ra in Rama's name. The Namah Shivaya, that Maha is the Maha in Rama's name. So Ra Maha is formed from the heart of the Ashtakshari mantra and the Panchakshari mantra. And all of this aside, Vedanta and Tantra and whatnot aside, there is something about the Indian mind that cannot resist the charm of Rama's name. Rama's name holds a beauty within it that no other word in any language that has existed on this world or will exist, no language has ever captured the beauty that is there in the Ramanama. There is something about the Ramanama wherein Indians just hear it and they forget themselves. So that is why, there is a charter that says, Rama Tattohikam Nama. Rama, forget about you. Your name is greater than you. Because your name has become the foothold for so many people to get moksha across time and space. Whereas you only gave moksha to the people around you. Right? And this is one thing. Then, you have Tyagaraja saying, right, Peridi ninu pinchina varevare, vareni chopare. So who gave you your name? Please tell me, I need to do namaskara to them. Sara tara tarakanamu peridi pinchina varevare. So who gave you such a Sara tara, which means the most potent of the potent, right? The most crisp of the crisp, the most pristine of the pristine, the most strong of the strong. Who gave you such an esoteric name? That Taraka Nama, right? The Taraka means that which helps you cross. That which helps you cross samsara. Who gave you that name? So this Rama Nama in itself is undoubtedly something that every single Indian needs to take to heart and needs to do japa, which is why our Sringeri Jagadguru Shri Vidhushekhara Bharati Mahaswami has told us that in occasion of this Rama Janmabhumi Mandira Pran Pratishtha, the Pran Pratishtha in the Janmabhumi Mandira, it is important that we do this Taraka Nama Japa, Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. This is one. And also the Rama Bhujanga Prayata Stotra that Jagadguru Srimad Adi Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya has composed. So the reason why we say please do Rama Nama Japa is because it is the name of Ishvara. It is because that name has some charm in it. It is because the japa of that name is the japa of a mantra. This is what we call a Nama mantra. When you say Sri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama, this is split into some parts. So Sri Rama Jaya, Jaya Rama, Jaya Rama Jaya, like that. So Sri Rama, Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. So Sri Rama Jaya, Rama Jaya, Jaya Rama, like that. So Sri Rama Jaya, Rama Jaya, Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Right? We end up splitting it like Sri Rama, Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. But that is the split in the mantra is Sri Rama Jaya, Rama Jaya, Jaya Rama. So that is how it is. So in Rudra, you see, we will have Anyatotara Namaskara. So you will see Ubhayatotara Namaskaras or Anyatotara Namaskaras. So Anyatotara Namaskaras means the Namas Shabda is only put on one side. So Namas Somaya Cha, there is only one Namaha. But there are some places where you will have a Namas on both sides. So Namo, Namo, you will have one more name and then Namo, Namo, like that. So those types of names are called Ubhayatotara Namaskara. So like this also, here with every Ramanama you have one Jaya. What does it mean? Jaya means may you surpass all others. What do we mean? Why do we have to ask Ishvara to surpass all others? It means that you are asking Ishvara to surpass everything else in your heart. So in our heart in our mind we think of many things. We want money, we want fame, we want glory, we want power. So out of all of this, we want Ishvara to surpass the importance of all of that. So we want Paramatma to be more important to us than wealth. We want Paramatma to be more important to us than power. We want Paramatma to be more important to us than whatever other worldly pleasures there are. So it is because we want Ishvara to surpass all other things in that sense that we say Rama Jaya, victory to Rama. And also in the sense that Rama being victorious means Rama fighting the 10-headed Ravana that are the evil tendencies within us. So the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, the evils of our mind have 10 faces to them. That is what this means. So when we say may Rama triumph, we mean may Rama be triumphant over that evil inside us. So Rama being the embodiment of all virtue. Right? That is why Maricha says, Rama's enemy, Maricha says, Rama Vigrahavan Dharma. If the Dharma Devata takes upon a body, it will be Rama. That is what he is saying. So Dharma personified is Rama. So you have Rama fighting Ravana, who is the personification of Kama and Krodha, all the evil tendencies that are present within our mind. So when you say may Rama triumph, we mean may the virtue that our mind contains, may that virtue triumph over the vices that are present in our personality. So when in this way, doing japa of this Ramanama, Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya 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 Rama, this mantra, doing japa of this mantra will give you fruits, all these meanings that we have just discussed, because Rama is Ishvara. Right? So that part of Ishvara is definitely there. That being said, Rama is most certainly a human. Rama is most certainly the Maryada Purushottama. Rama is most certainly an Adarsha Purusha. He is someone that we must take as an ideal in all senses. Every son has a duty to behave as Rama did to Dasharatha. Every husband has a duty to behave as Rama did to Sita. Every student has a duty to behave as Rama did to Vasishtha and Vishwamitra Maharshis. Every friend has a duty to behave as Rama did to Sugriva. Right? Honestly, even every enemy, every person has a duty to behave towards their enemy as Rama behaved towards Ravana. So all of this is most certainly there. Otherwise, what is the point of Valmiki Maharshi writing Ramayana? So the whole point of writing Ramayana is to give us the perfect ideal of Manava Dharma. So if a human has to do something, if a human has to lead a life, what is the most perfect life you can lead? And in order to better show that to us, see, everyone is a saint as long as life is easy for them. As long as everything is there, everyone will follow virtue. The second that things get tough, the second that they are presented with a choice, then people start to show their true colors. So, Paramatma chose a human life in which he underwent more or less every single trouble that a human can know. The loss of parents. See, Rama went to the forest, he was not even there when Dasharatha passed away. Loss of a wife, Sita was taken away from him. He cried then. Loss of we cry about losing a paycheck. Rama lost an entire kingdom and he did not blink an eye about it. So the loss of wealth, the loss of a parent, the loss of loved ones. Rama faints in battle. So it is not like Rama just went to Lanka, shot 2 arrows and the war was over. Indrajit throws Nagastra, he faints. Indrajit throws Brahmastra, he faints. Hanuman has to go and bring Sanjeevani Parvata for Rama to be rejuvenated. So it is not like Rama just closed his eyes and opened his eyes. He went through every single trouble that a human can possibly conceive of going through, and yet did not swerve from Dharma. Why? If he was Ishvara, that should not have been the case. Krishna did plenty of that. As Ishvara, Krishna showed plenty of Leelas in Mahabharata. When Jayadratha had to be killed, he just called for the sun to be covered. Rama did not do anything like that. So, in that sense, Rama was very much a human throughout his life. What is the point of Ishvara being a human? It is to show as an ideal. So, if anyone ever says that Rama being if you say Rama is a Devata, it takes away from Rama being the human ideal. That is utter nonsense. It is because Rama is Ishvara that he was able to be the human ideal. That is one more thing that we need to understand. So, in this way, Rama is both Aradhya and Adarsha, as many people say. He is both Aradhya. He must be worshipped. Worship of Rama is worship of Vishnu. Nama Japa, the Japa of Rama's name is certainly mantra Japa. There is no doubt about that at all. At the same time, it is not enough just to sit there and do Ram Bhajan. That will not be enough to make you a Rama Bhakta. You must follow the path that Rama walked. Because Bhagavan also says in Gita, so what is the point when I take avatar? As I said, Ishvara needs nothing, right? He does not have any karma to balance. He also does not want anything. He is Satya Kama, Satya Sankalpaha. Whatever he wants will happen, and he is also Purna Kama. He does not need anything. So then why does Ishvara do anything at all? So Bhagavan says in Gita, Nanavaptam avaptavyam. There is nothing I should not get, there is nothing I cannot get. But varta evacha karmani, I still work. Why? Mama vartmanu vartante manushyaah partha sarvashaha. People will emulate what I do. People will follow the ideal of what I do. So, even if Rama is Paramatma, it does not take away from the fact at all that we must emulate Rama. So, Rama's idealhood, right, the Adarshatva of Rama, is by no means lessened by the fact that Rama is also worshipped as Ishvara. But these two complement each other. And if you want to say Rama became Ishvara because he was a man, you can just understand that as it is because Rama was such a perfect man that we worship him as Ishvara. We have no problem with saying that statement. But we will not say, though, that Rama was not Ishvara. Right? That is something that we must say. Rama is simultaneously Paramatma and a human. Because as we discussed, these two things are not at all contradictory to each other. Right? Just as you can say a pot is wide and red. So wideness and redness are not qualities that conflict. So in the same way, Rama being an avatar of Paramatma and being human are not things that conflict at all. Right? So it is therefore our nature as Sanatana Dharmis, as Hindus, on this auspicious occasion of the Pran Pratishtha of Sri Rama in Ayodhya, that we do both of these. We seek Rama's grace as Ishvara. We worship Rama as Ishvara. Rama's name rings on our lips at all times. This is one part of it. The second part of it is, as Hindus, it is not enough just to pray to God and to do puja to Bhagavan. It is our duty to follow Dharma. Following your Dharma is the greatest form of tapas that exists. Which is why Bhagavan says, Swakarmana tamabhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. Performance of one's duty is the surefire way to perfection. To siddhi. Right? And also we say in Mahabharata, tapasvadharma vartitvam, the performance of one's duty diligently is tapas, and that is what leads us to a sadgati, right? That is what will get us a good janma in the coming lives. That is also what prepares our mind for Vedanta Jnana and for philosophical inquiry. So therefore, it is our duty at the same time to follow Dharma. How do we follow Dharma? By taking Rama as the ideal. Who will we take if not Rama? So it is our job to take Rama as the ideal. And it is only if we take Rama as the ideal that we can give ourselves a perfect blueprint of what a human is supposed to be. If we take anyone else, they will have 90%, 95%, 96% maybe. But if you want a complete 100%, then we must seek refuge in Rama. And I will finish off with one incident that has happened with Mahasannidhanam, the current Shankaracharya of the Dakshinamaya Sringeri Jagadguru Jagadguru Sri Lalitaditya Mahaswami, wherein a bhakta was speaking with Mahasannidhanam Varu, and they had asked So we have the Keshava Namas, the Chaturvimshati Keshava Namas, right? That we are familiar. Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Masuna, Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara, Sankarshana, Niruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva, Adhokshaja, Sankarshana, all of that, Narasimha, Janardana, Hare Shri Krishna. So all of these names are there of Vishnu. So in this you have Narasimha, right? You have Pradyumna, you have Achyuta, you have Janardana, right? So these are all names that refer to Rama, Narasimha, that refer to Narasimha and Krishna. So in Bhagavan's avatars, if we're talking about Purna avatars, we have three: Narasimha, Rama, and Krishna. So you have names here referring to Krishna and Narasimha. Why is there no name referring to Rama? For which Mahasannidhanam has replied that there is the name Purushottama, the foremost among men. The name Purushottama applies to Sri Ramachandra because he is a Purusha, because he is a man. He acted as a human, and as I said, he provided the ideal of manhood. So he was not just a Purusha, but he was Purusha Uttama. He was the foremost among men. What makes him the foremost? 100% adherence to Dharma. So the fact that this name Purushottama is in the Keshava Namas but also refers to Rama is exactly what we are talking about. The name Purushottama, just like the name Rama, is the name of Ishvara, and it applies to Ishvara as Rama, who acted as the foremost among humans. So on this occasion, as a fellow Hindu, I share the joy of the community that Sri Rama is once again coming to rule us out of Ayodhya. And it is said in Veda, Deva Nam Pura Ayodhya, the city of the Devatas, wherein Chaitanya and Daivi Sampat, right? So Daivi Sampat, as we said in Gita, is all the auspicious qualities. So fearlessness, being steadfast, truth, Shraddha, Shama, Dama, control of the Indriyas, Arjavam, straightforwardness, Swadhyaya, proper study. These are all the qualities of Devatas. So when we say Devanam Pura Ayodhya, and when we say that Rama is the king of Ayodhya, we mean that wherever Rama rules from, there Daivi Sampat is sure to flourish. So I pray that with the grace of Sri Ramachandra, Sita, and Anjaneya Swami, and with the grace of the Jagadgurus, that Rama's reign once again will bring about the Daivi Sampat in all of us, and that it will lead our Desha, our Bharata Desha, to an even more prosperous future, and that it will ensure peace, happiness, and prosperity for people of all castes, religions, creeds, and any other group that may seek refuge in this sacred land. Mangalam Kosalayandraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.